Well, despite pushback from the United States, the UK, Australia, and Canada have officially recognized Palestine as a state. More recognitions are expected as President Trump and other world leaders head to New York this week for the annual General Assembly at the United Nations. Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst is live in Tel Aviv, Israel, with the latest on the war there. Trey.
Yeah, hey, John, good afternoon. As these political developments unfold, it's been more than 700 days of war, and Hamas maintains an ability to fire rockets into Israel. Early this morning, sirens sounded across the southern city Ashdod as 2 launches were detected. One of those launches intercepted by Israel's missile defense system, the Iron Dome. We do know on the ground inside Gaza, Israeli forces continue to advance deeper into Gaza City. At the same time, they're launching heavy airstrikes that reportedly killed dozens of Palestinians over the past 24 hours alone. Overnight, thousands of Israelis gathered in the streets of Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, demanding the release of the remaining 48 hostages held by Hamas and an end to the war. Families worry that time is running out for their loved ones.
It's time to say enough is enough. Stop the war, end the war, release the hostages, stop the ethnic cleansing in Gaza.
As for a possible mediated solution, the Qataris are reportedly waiting on the Israelis to apologize for striking their country earlier this month before those talks would resume. John?
Trey Yingst reporting live from Tel Aviv. Thank you, Trey. For more on all this, let's bring in national security and military analyst Dr. Rebecca Grant. Dr. Grant, some strong U.S. allies, Australia and Great Britain among them, now say they will recognize a Palestine. What's your take on this?
I'm sad to see it. Secretary Rubio has said that is counterproductive, and it doesn't change the facts on the ground. Britain's Keir Starmer even says there is no viable Palestinian state, and they're joining 150 other countries in this recognition. But, John, what worries me is that it may be the hostages in Gaza who pay the price for this diplomatic theater. The only way forward is for Hamas to agree to a ceasefire or for the IDF to secure Gaza City.
Hamas is the governing entity in the West Bank. Hamas is holding hostages that it took in that October 7th raid in Israel, and yet their reward is to be given a state of their own. How does that make sense?
It's incredible to talk about a Palestinian state. The example of Gaza has shown that Hamas was horrible for the people of Gaza, not a competent ruling authority, not willing to engage in proper diplomacy. No reason to say going forward that this is the pattern we should follow. And the bottom line, the U.S. has to stand strong as Israel does its best to secure Israel and also the rest of the region.
Peter Doocy was asking Keir Starmer about this the other day. I want to play this sound for you right now.
If you feel so strongly about officially recognizing Palestine for statehood, why are you waiting for President Trump to leave the country? Why can't you just do it right now? And isn't there a risk in rewarding Hamas with that?
Well, let me be really clear about Hamas. They're a terrorist organization who can have no part in any future governance in Palestine.
So he says Hamas cannot have any part in a future government, but Hamas is the government right now.
Right, and that's absolutely correct. Hamas can have no part in that. And in the end, that's why I think Israel's forces will simply have to clear Gaza City and occupy and create a more peaceful situation there. And that has to happen because we do need to get civilian aid in there. The conflict does need to stop. Hamas has proven it cannot govern Gaza.
The Palestinians had help from the Jordanians decades ago, back in the 70s, I think it was. The Jordanians basically invited them in, and the Palestinian response was to try to assassinate most of the Jordanian government and start hijacking airplanes and killing passengers, that kind of thing. It's not for lack of help that the Palestinians are where they are right now.
That's absolutely true, and there's plenty of support throughout the region, plenty of diplomatic support, but it's all about what will the conduct be, and we've got to see an agreement for peace in this region, and that's why it's the Abraham Accords that are the right path forward, and as Secretary Rubio has said, it's actually hurting the negotiations with Hamas for Britain and Canada, allies that they are, and others, to give this recognition to a theoretical Palestinian state.
Dr. Rebecca Grant. Dr. Grant, thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.